Friend Matt, I did move. This is the new house. Welcome. (8 a.m. in India. Andy Craig, hello from Panama, friend. How are you? Come to Vanau. Let me know when you arrive. Still in PA. Yes, sir. No way. Glad to know you've been here. Yeah, beautiful spot. Cool. Yeah, Panama's a beautiful place. Many land opportunities here, that's for sure. I don't have recommendations for turning on the hustle. I would hope to God it's innate within you. That's all I'll say. I try to send Loom videos to other businesses in the US, but they don't check my email. Even if they do, they don't reply. Yes, that is a difficult situation to be in. However, how many emails have you sent that have actually been delivered? And how many replies have you gotten? Because I know people from India that have sent videos from India and have gotten responses. So it is not true that nobody will respond. Although I will say you're definitely going to be in a more difficult position than somebody who's born and raised in the States, sending emails from the States. Same thing as if like I was trying to send videos to people in India, I would get worse response rates than you would. Naturally, when you contact people within whatever country you live in or you're from, you get higher response rates and vice versa. But you probably haven't sent enough. I need video ideas. If anybody has any. Sir, Agency Enlightened is very soon to be launched and should be this month. So yeah, I'm really excited. I published several modules this week and should have a couple more to be published. Agency Enlightened videos and video ideas, please. Andy, solid idea. Thank you, friend. Matt, that is also a great idea. Better AMS grew about 30, I think in the 30s percentile range year over year. 35%, 30%, somewhere in that range. Whereas the previous year we grew 100%. Kind of sad, but we hopefully have solved a lot of, we're finalizing solving some operational bottlenecks that should not be an issue this year after like Q1. How to start an agency in the US for expats. I mean, I feel like previous videos I've done have answered that. All my videos are like how to start an agency, but I do have a whole playlist dedicated to how to start an agency. Yeah. Oh, I just made a video on resetting your brain. Great topic, especially at the beginning of a new year. Basically, eliminating portals of distractions, replacing negative dopamine sources with positive ones. Choosing a legendary environment. Wow. Muy importante. And everyone leave a like on the live. Thanks, Neil. I took my first action the other day and sent some custom Loom videos to potential clients. Cool. Andy, is it that you're trying to start an agency similar to Better AMS, or what was it that you're trying to start? You've covered so much ground. Your Zapier for agency videos is pretty good. Maybe some more systems videos. Yeah, systems videos would be great. The problem now is like, I don't really build that much stuff for Better AMS, like systems wise. Right now, I've been building the Better AMS software, and a lot of time went into that, and that's going really well. I could talk about that, but like talking about building software, custom software for your agency, pretty specific. I don't know. It's a really important system. How valuable is it to other people? I don't know. Sounds pretty cool. But like, it's not like a client onboarding thing. It's more just like, hey, this is very custom software that we've invested a lot of money into for our specific market and service. But yeah, more systems videos would be cool. Yeah. Sam Evans Consulting Accelerator is still good as it gets older. Yeah, some things have become obsolete, but the vast majority is evergreen. So in my opinion, it's still a really good investment for somebody who has no business experience whatsoever and wants to understand how to start a business with no money. So yeah, I mean, still a great investment. But of course, some things have been obsolete. Then again, I don't know. Maybe they've updated it. Maybe they've removed some of the stuff that's become obsolete. Really, there's only a couple things I can think of in my mind. And those aren't major enough to where I wouldn't recommend the program. I still think it's probably one of the best things somebody with no business experience could invest in. In the Amazon space, love PPC, have other skills, really just trying to find my place and move out of my cold environment here in Michigan. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I mean, any service tied to Amazon, if you have any experience and you're sending Loom videos out, I mean, if you send 500, you're going to definitely get at least a couple clients. 500 custom looms, oh my God, at least a couple clients. So sent over LinkedIn and email. Whew. Yep, absolutely. Gabriel, thoughts on Iman Ghazi? I haven't talked to him in a long time. I reached out to him not too long ago. I kind of wanted to interview him. Last I talked to him, he was getting rid of his agency and focusing more on his course. But as of recently, I think he's now focusing again on the agency. I'm not too sure. I'll let you know if he gets in touch. I mean, I'll do an interview with him. So yeah. Cyborg system. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of value that would come out of watching the Cyborg system video for you. You'd be better off to watch some of the Better AMS YouTube content there. But there's so much good videos on YouTube about how to do Amazon advertising that, like, really anybody could learn it in a few days. Yeah, new ventures, Neil. Agency Enlightened isn't really a new venture by any means. It's just a venture that's regaining momentum, and that should be launched this month. I don't even want to say early February, but like, we have the Better AMS company retreat coming up in Mexico mid-January, January 15th. So I'm kind of like, will I get Agency Enlightened done? It'll be close. So yeah, aside from that, yeah, we want to raise money in Better AMS right now. There's some legendary stuff that we want to launch to the market. And if I had the time and the money right now, we would probably launch another company, different agency. I think we can launch this agency hopefully Q2, Q3 of this year. I just need to find the right person to run it. And that's really exciting because this thing has mad potential. Appreciate the transparency. I like the AMS origin story where you got your first client and winged it. Yep. Had no idea what I was doing. Any advice on handling clients? Yeah, set really good expectations before you start working with them. And then to handle them well is to just consistently give good reporting, weekly reporting consistently, and at least a once a month phone call. It's really the only two things. Just making sure the client never feels neglected. And neglect comes by shit response times is ultimately the number one thing that causes neglect and makes clients feel like you're not doing anything for them, regardless of how good your results may be. But AMS is, for this year, sticking with PPC. And hopefully next year we can expand into maybe CRO. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna definitely expand into PPC, into Walmart this year. That'll be exciting. We already expanded slightly into DSP, demand side platform, which is still Amazon advertising, but it's not PPC, it's DSP. I don't want to say the new agency. What I want to do for this agency is launch it, document the process, like start to finish, like literally ground zero to 50K a month MRR or 25K a month MRR, whatever it is. document the whole thing, all the phone calls, the process of like setting up the website, getting the first few clients, getting to like 10, 20 clients, hiring the first few people, and just getting it up to like 30, 40, $50,000 a month with like 30, 40% margins ideally, and make a movie out of it, which will be like an hour-long film on how to start an agency. And then use that as like the video for the lead magnet video for selling maybe a program on how to start an agency from ground zero, which would be a much cheaper program than Agency Enlightened. I mean, Agency Enlightened is like how to scale up to 7 figures and build a great culture, etc. But I've always wanted to launch a program that is significantly cheaper and is dedicated to how to start an agency. So that new agency that we would launch would be the kind of like social proof case study of how to launch an agency and grow it to 6 figures with 30% margins in 6 months or something like that. Matt, it's a good question. If your spiritual karma is one answer, and a non-spiritual answer that's more logical would just be, lack of commitment, and that's all I can say. I mean, if you're really an entrepreneur and you want to be that for the rest of your life, I mean, you'll know and you'll figure it out. So I've always personally just felt like I've always known, and no matter what, I would figure it out, and I wouldn't do anything else until I did. Specialized knowledge, I would say, is probably one of the most important things. And I just think not enough people actually have the knowledge required to start a business. That's why I'm a huge fan of Consulting Accelerator, because what Sam has built is actually really good. It's fundamental, evergreen principles that are applicable to starting a business that will never be outdated for the majority of the content. Nautilus, happy birthday, brother. Or happy New Year to you as well. Sorry, my birthday's wasn't too long ago. Can you find another destiny for your new agency? Great question. That's what I'm going to look for. What is the most valuable lesson you learned in 2021 in life and business, and how will it affect your actions in 2022? Most important thing I learned in 2021 personally was to live in a legendary environment. Slow down so that you can really reflect on if where you are is where you should ideally be. And it occurred to me when I was reading a book, good book, written by a friend of mine. I forget the name of it. It's called Bioptimizers something. I forget the title, but it's by Matt Gallant. Anyways, in the book, it talks about the importance of recharging. This is just crazy. This is legendary. It talks about recharging, and it talks about the importance of it, and how there should be days that you take off from your work completely. And so I've always taken Sundays off. Sundays are days where I don't work. In the book, it says a day that you take off, you should be able to have a day that is legendary, a legendary day that you don't work. What is a legendary day? It's a day that you're extremely excited for. It's a day that like you just can't wait to wake up because you're so excited for that day. Think about a day where you woke up and you just couldn't really fall asleep the night before because you were so excited. I mean, that is really what approaching a legendary day looks like. And so in Panama City, where I lived for 5 years, I, for the life of me, could never say that I could have a legendary day. Like, it just wasn't possible within Panama City because of the structure of the environment. It's all buildings and concrete. There's no beaches, there's no surfing. It's all just apartment complexes, restaurants, and like a few parks. There's nothing to do. All right. With that being said, I had come to Vanao, Playa Vanao, which is a beach about 5 hours outside of the city in Panama, and fell in love with it and thought to myself, wow, imagine if I could live here, work 6 days a week, and then go surfing on Sundays. And it just clicked that, like, for me, I love surfing so much. I love the beach. I love nature. I love the water. A legendary day for me is the ability to wake up and do that. And that is what's going to recharge me the most. In the city, if I wake up on a Sunday, it's like, okay, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to hang out with some friends. I'm going to go to some restaurants. And I'm not going to feel that recharged because I don't actually love doing any of those things. I want to wake up and go surfing, or wake up and go like hike a mountain that I've never hiked before, or wake up and go play frisbee on the beach with some friends, watch the sunset. So probably the most legendary personal thing I've learned in the last year was that you need to live in a legendary environment. Your life is going to be so much better. Andy was talking about getting out of Michigan because it's so cold. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just 95% of, probably more, population of Earth lives somewhere where they don't want to live. And there's actually still a large percentage of the population who could live anywhere, but still lives in a place where they don't want to live. And that was me for a long time, probably for 3 years too much. 3 years. I had 3 years too many in the city. I could have moved here 3 years ago, and that would have been better. That would have been a better life decision. But I was just working so much, and I was just so like caught in work. And it's not like I hated my life or anything. I was still loved my life. And those are great years, but they could have been more enjoyable. So that was a huge life lesson. I'm so happy I'm here now. And wow, great lesson. So I just need to learn to slow down a little bit, like go travel around Panama. Like, what if you could live somewhere else that's better? Like, you don't need 1,000 megabytes a second. That was another thing. Like, I had the belief that, like, okay, I need ridiculous internet. I need like 1,000 megabytes. I need a gig up and down. And I can't work without a gig. Well, that's totally not true. So yeah, I had some preconceived notions that were holding me back from moving. Anyways, it's affected me drastically. I feel much happier here, and thus able to work better and etc. What's Sam Evans up to these days? Working. He's building out school.com. School is like a platform for course creators who want to have a community and a great environment to put their course into. So he's building out this software. Have you met many other entrepreneurs in Panama? Yeah, I have. When you get a chance, message me back on LinkedIn. I would love to pick your brain about Playa now living in Panama. Okay, biggest spiritual mental takeaway you learned about yourself scaling to 10 million MRR years ago when you were simultaneously. I have never scaled to 10 million. Oh, 10,000 MRR. I was like, dude, 10 million MRR would mean I do 120 million a year. That'd be insane. We're getting there. Man, that would be really exciting. We would have like 1,000 employees, 10 million MRR. Biggest spiritual and mental takeaways you learned about yourself scaling to 10,000 when you were simultaneously working in construction. I don't know, man. There wasn't really like a spiritual or mental like major lesson that I learned. It was just like this deep knowingness that like I am going to make it out of here and make enough money online to be able to live wherever I want. And it was just a ridiculous knowingness, like 24/7, working in construction, headphones in, listening to podcasts. It was an absolute obsession. Absolute obsession. Like, there was zero time spent hanging out with anybody for friends or anything of this nature. Like, Maybe once every couple weeks, I would go hang out with a friend for the night. But it was a ridiculous obsession for like 2 years. And I think that was needed. I don't know. I can't imagine, you know, kind of enjoying life more. For me, it was just like, it wasn't even a sacrifice. It was just, this is just what I have to do. So I don't know. Hey, hold on. Cat wants to go outside. Come on. Yeah. Stoicism, books like Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, great books. Necker Island. Just flew to Panama City yesterday, enjoying Colombia now. Can't beat surfing as part of a legendary day. It's very true. I spent last month living in a beach house in the Canary Islands. Game changer for mood and productivity. Yeah. It's funny, like when people go to nature, they're just like, oh my God, like nature. Wow. Like it's living. And I was in this mountain. It was so beautiful. I was so like happy. And like, it's like, dude, if that's what nature does to everybody, go live somewhere that's gorgeous and beautiful, that like is a destination where people would typically take a vacation, because it is legendary. That's what Vanau is. Vanau is a vacation destination. A lot of people come here for a vacation. And I remember moving here thinking like, what a fucking ultimate life hack. I'm just gonna live somewhere that's a vacation destination. Disconnecting from work is like easy. Let me just go walk down the beach. So, ultimate life hack. Live where other people will vacation. Simple. Favorite takeaways from Greylock, Blitzskill, Brian Chesky Airbnb video, the 90-minute video. Not sure if it rings a bell. Absolutely rings a bell. One of the best videos I've ever watched. Everybody should watch that video by Greylock, Blitzskill, Brian Chesky Airbnb. I don't know. I don't quite. I think it's just really the biggest takeaway was the importance of culture, perseverance. I mean, the story of how they, took down this giant that was rising up in front of them with, ridiculous capital behind them. Beautiful. So, but really just culture is like, wow. Reinforce my beliefs of the importance of culture. Can you give us a brief top video on your sales process for agency services? I have given a video on that topic, Webified. Go through my channel and search best agency sales process. I find it to be beautiful, so beautiful that we are all wrong. We're just striving to be less wrong. It's like striving for impossible perfection that makes us feel like we are leveling up as a human. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yep, learning every day. The obsession with learning is kind of the ultimate way to, in my opinion, business success. I mean, you really have to be obsessed with it. Any interest in crypto, Web3? Yes, love it. Crypto, I finally took the time to learn about it and learn about NFTs, and just where this whole web 3.0 thing, metaverse thing is going. And yeah, it blew my mind. I was so stoked about it. It's just not something that right now I am in a position to make any form of major investments in, nor would I care to. Aside from for fun buying some NFTs that I think are cool. Aside from this, I mean, for now I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. But once I have more cash, would love to do some more stuff with it. Thanks, Leila, for the stream. Yeah, check it out. Ladies and gents, it's 10:20 p.m. Final questions. Let me know if you have any more. Jeremy Smith, what was the website you used to practice your type speed? I use it's weird. I don't recall ever talking about practicing my typing. One thing I did last year and the year before was I spent time practicing and increasing my WPM, which is my words per minute. I can type so much better now that I actually use all my fingers. It's unbelievable. I'm so much faster. you can like there's just infinite things that you can work on and improve upon. Typingclub.com, typingclub.com. It's like I pay like $40 a year or something. It's like $2 a month or $24 a year, something like this. You can get it free for like 2 weeks, but really fun. Stuff like this becomes extremely fun when you don't play video games. Somebody told me the new Halo came out, and I was just like, oh my God. There was this part of my soul that was like, download Steam, buy an Xbox, but I can't do it. At this point, I got too much momentum in business, and I care more about hitting MRR goals than beating Halo at this point in my life. If you're addicted to video games, one thing I'll say is like, you can really, it's easy to kind of think about, like for me, I just think about like, okay, if I end this year and I spent 50, 100 hours playing video games, just a couple hours a week, okay, it's over 100 hours at the end of the year playing video games. I will be so pissed at myself knowing that I could have had 100 extra hours put into achieving my goals. And I don't want to look back on my life and think, yeah, I played a lot of Halo and video games, and those games were lit. That was really fun. But because of that, I don't know how much better I could have been as a person if I would have focused all my energy on personal development. That's what just goes on in my head. I'm like, I can't do it. Nope. And there's just again, back to legendary environment. When you live in a legendary environment, typically like the video games doesn't even like occur in your mind because you're just like, life is just so lit. I mean, you live in such a legendary environment. You go surfing. Surfing is the most like funnest thing in the world. 100 times funner than any video game. 100 times, in my opinion. It's also 100 times more relaxing. So anyways, I digress on video games. Look how long Playa Blanca Beach is in PA. Google Maps if you get a chance. Yeah, Playa Blanca's cool. Been there. NFT agency could boom. Know a guy that's earning 3K making Discords for projects. A lot of potential. Yeah, I've thought about. I actually just talked to a guy who runs a marketing agency specifically for coins that are going to ICO, and does really well. What motivates you today? Obviously, it's easy to motivate when you're just starting out working in construction. What motivates you when Better MS is doing several million in revenue annually? Better MS isn't quite doing several million. We're scratching the surface of a couple million after this year. But yeah, just I don't know, just being better, like personal development, just self-actualization. I just know that like Better AMS has so much potential. Like we could 10x Better AMS, and so in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I just want to see Better AMS like 10x. I know we can 10x. You know. So I'm just so like I just see the potential. And I'm like, oh my god. Way to stay focused on your goals, man. Thank you. What's your end goal for Better AMS decades from now? If you plan on still running it, what's your end goals for overall life? I plan on quitting all of business and just going all in on spirituality and the pathway to enlightenment. Probably in my late 30s. So, yeah, like I'll probably just become like a chairman of the board or something. Or if I end up selling, in that case, I would develop a portfolio of real estate to where my passive income after all expenses is like net 15, 20K a month or something like this. Probably 20K a month. Because 20K a month is insane. I mean, it's just to have 20K a month coming in net from real estate. Oh my God. You don't need much more than 20K a month to live an insane life. And yeah, just focus on spirituality at that point. So that would probably be it. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to sleep. Much love to you all. It was great connecting with some of you guys. And thank you for the video ideas. I'll see you guys in another video soon. All right. Much love. Ciao, friends.